A teenage illegal immigrant is getting ready to spend another night behind bars, Mobile Metro.
As we've reported, he's accused of causing a crash that killed a Mobile County teacher last month. Tyler Fingard back in the studio with that story now.
Bond was denied. Lanice and Byron as Domingo Marcos Diego's case now heads to a grand jury. He's charged with homicide by vehicle and leaving the scene of an accident. The DA's office and judge worried he could be deported back to Guatemala if he would make bail. Using crutches, Domingo Marcos Diego slowly making his way into courtroom 4100 to face a judge today with a translator by his side.
My singular purpose in this is that if Mr. Diego is guilty of that state offense, then he should be held accountable for it.
The deadly crash he's facing charges for happening last month on Moffett Road.
What we do know is that Mr. Diego was speeding and he directly crossed over a center turn lane of traffic directly into Ms. Jones' lane of travel.
The defense team is arguing another car hit Marcos Diego's before it crossed into oncoming traffic. The prosecution says the evidence doesn't support that claim.
He did not have control of his vehicle after his vehicle made contact with the other vehicle. It was simply an accident.
The Mobile County teacher, Sonia Jones, died in the crash. Her family in the courtroom for the hearing.
They are still grieving, very much grieving, and you know they don't want to be here. They're here because Mr. Diego has been accused of violating traffic laws that caused a death.
Prosecutors continued their push for no bond, which they got, something the defense team isn't happy about.
I still think a person's constitutional right to bond should not be set aside regardless of whether or not they think that he's going to be deported or not.
The only testimony during the nearly hour-long hearing was from the state trooper investigating the crash. He even reenacted it using toys. He says a witness told him he saw Marcos Diego trying to leave the scene, but because of his injuries, he wasn't able to go that far. If he is indicted by the grand jury and convicted of those charges, he could spend up to 20 years in prison. In the studio, Tyler Fingard, Fox 10 News.